It says Natasha Vincent, I see too many men withdraw and become defensive when challenged. It's heartbreaking. Growth and pain is rewarding. Here's the thing. To touch on that and what Shai Seabum has saying, a lot of us at a young age has been taught to be nothing but tough. There's no conversation about being vulnerable. It's only at the latter years of my life where, after going through therapy, where I say, hey, I need to um open the door a little bit. My daddy never was vulnerable with me. I never seen him laugh. I never seen him cry. I never seen him broke down. I've only ever seen him with a mean face and him say, I gotta go and pay bills. You feel me trying to say? That concept of being vulnerable has never been taught to us. We have to learn this the hard way. And it's a negative thing because it's the women that has to deal with it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mimi. Your thoughts.
I think that I think that there's just a thin line of confusion when we talk about, oh, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be vulnerable. We understand because, like Shiesty and I were saying in the comments, it's hard for both men and women to be vulnerable. There are a lot of things that let me just say, there's a lot of things that I've dealt with in my life that has caused my guard to be up. Like I'm guarded in relationships until we get to a certain point where I see for sure that you're not the one trying to attack me, right? You're not my enemy. You're not the one I'm fighting with. At some point, if you are in a serious relationship, if you're in a healthy relationship, things like that, not just some fly by the night, weekend, whatever, but like if you're really trying to build something, at some point you have to learn to trust how can I not trust the person I lay down with every night and wake up to every morning? How can I not trust somebody that I literally lay down and be intimate with? How can I be intimate with someone and I don't trust him?
Mm.
Right. And so at some point you have to, it's not about what you did and didn't learn as a child. Busy has said something earlier. Oh, imagine growing up with, parents who were emotionally immature. It happens to all of us. We can't fault our parents for what they didn't know and what they weren't taught. And if we do that, then we go generations down the line teaching our children and their children and their children. Oh, we can just blame our parents for everything that we do and don't have. No. At some point, you have to learn to trust the person that you're in a relationship with. Let that guard down every once in a while and work through these things together. Y'all are partners. You're partners for a reason.
Mhm.
Married or not, y'all are partners. We in a relationship. We
Mm.
committed to each other. This is a healthy relationship. We're not going to bring those bad habits into this relationship. And yes, it is hard because there's so much that you want to pin on this person that maybe you didn't get out of your system with the last person, or your mama, your daddy, your brothers, your sisters. This ain't no battlefield. When you come home to me, this is your peace. This is what we're building. This is how we need
Mm.
to work through the things that we're working through for our future. We understand that you were not taught vulnerability, and that is perfectly okay. Neither were we, which is why y'all like to talk about the women who aren't as soft as other women and who aren't as feminine. We weren't taught that, but that's okay because this is where we want to be. We want to be with the partner. We don't want to spend the rest of our lives alone. We're going to start building with that partner. In my opinion, it's more common for a woman to let her guard down first, but like, y'all, that's traumatizing in and of itself as well. I'm with you, let's say 3 years, and I got to work through all my stuff just to let some guards down so that we can talk, when the last 3 years you've been able to keep up. No, trust the person that you're with. You spending days and weeks and months and years together and hours out of the day. Like, trust the person. Learn to trust the person. Learn to trust the person that you're with. Learn to be vulnerable. Learn to communicate.
Mm. I don't have no pushback there. I think everything you said is straight valid.
No, I agree.
Even with the last 5 minutes, I agree with everything you said. No
I
pushback on
agree
my
with
end.
you. I agree with you, but I do have a caveat to this. I want to say so. If everybody's on defense, and we know this, if you're a black man and a black woman in America, everybody's going through some sort of trauma. But how can a woman become a man's piece if she's on defense and majority of the time, and when she comes home, she's on defense? And we're not going to equate each other's pain or what we're dealing with on the basis, because that we'll be doing this all day. We all going through something.
I,
But a lot of us men are leaning to y'all for that piece. And I think sometimes if she's been through enough trauma, it's kind of hard for her to remove herself to be that piece at times.
I think y'all focus too much on how can she do this for him. I
Mm-hmm.
think what it comes down to, truly and honestly, like what it comes down to, know your work, trust your partner. You have to. So women, we compartmentalize.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends. I have a lot of friends, right? But I have a few people that are close friends. I have a few people that if I don't talk to them in 2 months, they still love me. They know my heart don't change. We still friends. We just don't talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people who, we were friends years down the road. We just ain't talk. Listen, we all have a role to play. You are with your partner. If you don't learn to trust and let your guard down with nobody else, it needs to be your partner. Y'all focus too much, not y'all, but I think
Mm-hmm.
people focus too much on what can this other person do for me. But if you were married, I would say you got to trust that God is going to work on your partner and it doesn't change your heart. So you keep doing everything that you know you're supposed to do, whether he's coming in throwing his shoes at the door or, not putting the clothes in the line, whatever is pissing her off. You keep doing what you need to do as a wife. I'm not saying y'all know how Hakeem is. I'm not saying keep cutting this man's toenails and all that other stuff. But like truly, really and truly, right? In your heart, you keep doing the things that you have to do to be a good wife and trust that God got him. You can't I can't stop cooking Roni dinner every night because he come in and toss shit all over the place and I'm telling him 5 times out of a week to pick this shit up. No, I'm gonna make sure you eat because you gotta eat. I'm literally sustaining you so you can breathe. And I gotta let God do the work. Y'all gotta do your own work too, but I gotta let God do the work. I can't stop being who I am. And y'all need to do that as well. You can't choose to be half of a man today. You can't choose to be a protector and not a provider. You can't choose to love her on Tuesday and not Friday because she didn't do something right. You got to keep being that person that you are. Keep being that husband, keep being that man, and let her work on herself. Let God work on her and let her work on herself.
Let me hit you with this, and I love that you say that. So does that mean that are we still trapped with old stereotypes and old ideologies that we might need to maybe evolve from? Because let's say for this, the whole "be my peace," "be my
Mm.
sanctuary" comes from an old way of thinking that says a woman's supposed to be a man's peace, his sanctuary, to calm him down, or a man's supposed to be the provider and protector. So if we say that, if we shouldn't be looking for these in our partners, so should we just be given passes?
We're not given passes. That's what got us to where we are now. We're not
Mm.
given We're coming into these relationships knowing that we want to be in this committed, healthy relationship,
Mm,
knowing that you have flaws and I have flaws.
mm,
Here's some of my traumas. Here's some of your traumas. Because I can't believe that you didn't date it for however long you didn't date it and don't know this man's past or traumas or anything like that, and vice versa. Y'all done talked about some stuff. So prior to us ever entering into this committed relationship and wanting it to be healthy, we got to know our own situations, know the other person's situations, and know that we're coming in here, like Shicey said, being one another's piece, right?
mm.
Mm.
Being one another's piece. And I do believe as a woman, there are ways that I can protect you. There are ways that I can provide for you. It
No,
may not
one
be
hundred percent.
essence,
Yeah.
as they say and back in the day with the men, but like
Mm,
we're each other's protection. I'm not letting I told my boyfriend the other day, his people were arguing and they just chaotic. I tell him all the time they're very high functioning, anxiety driven people, okay? And he called me and he was telling me the situation and I said, listen, Don't let that shit bother you. I'm sorry, I'll try not to cuss today. Don't let that stuff bother you. Don't let that stuff bother you. Y'all had a plan, it didn't go through, etc., etc. Here's what you need to do. Okay? My way of protecting him, because if I didn't step in and say something to him to calm him down, he was gonna freak the hell out.
But that's being his peace.
Right. So it's not
Right.
one and not
Yeah.
the other. It is both, right?
Both. Yeah, yeah. Peace and protection.
He may protect me
Mm,
by making sure, I walk on the right side of the road. I'm
mm,
protecting you because I see the things that people are doing around you that's going to mess you up in the mind, right?
mm.
Yes, we are holding on to old ideologies. Do I feel like we completely need to evolve from them? No, that is what built our foundation. That's kind of like what sets us in our morals, what it is that we're looking for in a partner. But we do need to take that and we need to nurture that, and we need to grow that, and we need to like make it fit our own.
I love that. I want to land this with this, and this is my last question. So, if a man supposed to give his woman grace on
A woman
Mm.
gives her husband grace too.
too, and because you know what I mean, and we know women expectations are very high as
Men's
far as.
expectations are high as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
keep
yeah.
telling y'all,
You talking?
y'all focusing on a woman, a woman, a woman, and not a man, a man, a man.
No,
When
we did.
it needs to be more focused, more centered on how can we for one another, not what you can do and what I can do.
So I agree with you, but then I'm
I tell you,
saying,
I can't. I got no pushback. You see, I'm
no, no, no.
quiet.
I got no
I'm
pushback.
listening.
This is my last point. So I'm saying, because this is the point that I see that women do not give men grace on, because this is something that they expect from us, just
Time
like
out,
we expect sex. Go ahead.
time out, time out. Before you go there, I'm gonna tell you the number one way. And Shiesty put it in the comments earlier, and I can't even read y'all comments. Y'all stuff look different than when we over here on
Mhm.
StreamYard.
Oh,
But she put something in there. So the number one way that women give men grace is we put up with a whole lot of.
Did I freeze?
hello.
No, Mimi froze. Hold on. There you go. Mimi, you muted. Hold on. Mimi was gonna go. She about to go in her
She
bag.
was
Hold on.
going.
Hello, Mimi, you there? I think you. Mimi, come back. Come out. Come back.
Come
Hold
back.
on. Give
Come
her
on.
1 second. She was about to
She
go in.
was
She was
getting
about
in
to
her
answer the
bag.
question. She
She
was
was
going
getting
in
in
her
her bag.
bag. Hey, y'all want to see more Mimi? Make sure y'all go to Psyche Avenger. They go live at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time. They're about to go live right after us.
With
So
the other shiesty Avengers, but there's only two
with the
original.
action, with the action.